내가 유은호 씨 좋아해요.
Back again on my channel and still continuing in the drama Love Scout episode 7. When entering the performance room, they sat close together and Ji-yoon almost held Unho's hand several times and also stared at Unho. She seemed to want to hold Unho's hand, but she held her back. Then she went to the toilet so she could wake up. After the performance over, Unho invited her to eat and the place to eat was not far, so Ji-yoon invited her to walk to the place to eat. While walking to the place to eat, Ji-yoon talked about work, but Unho tried not to talk about work. Because it was past work hours and he also asked Ji-yoon not to think about work anymore when work hours were over. Because she had to empty her mind for a moment, and while walking, their hands accidentally touched. On the street, there was a man who wanted to be photographed with his family, and after Unho take their photo, their daughter forced Unho and Ji-yoon to take a photo together. At first, Ji-yoon refused, but Unho didn't mind and the girl took a photo of them, who looked awkward and a bit embarrassed. After arriving home, Unho sent their photo to Ji-yoon and Ji-yoon looks happy. At a cosmetic company, Diane Cosmetic, some staff are testing new products. Hannah applies the product to her coworker and smells it, and the other staff look at them and think that they are dating. Hannah is a project manager at Diane Cosmetics. She is a candidate who wants to change jobs because her ex-boyfriend is in the same office. They just broke up and she has difficulty working with him. Ji-yoon asks her staff to make sure because after making an emotional decision, she might change her mind.
보고할 거 없으면 마무리하지.
While discussing work with Mai, Ji-yoon's eyes are fixed on Unho all the time and it makes Mai confused. According to her, Ji-yoon always loses focus and likes to smile to herself. While in the elevator, Ji-yoon keeps pressing the button and waiting for Unho to come in. Even though Mai doesn't see Unho, but Ji-yoon sees him and waits for him. Hannah explains to Jurim why she can't stop her feelings in the office. And when they break up, they become uncomfortable and Hannah decides to change jobs. She asks Jurim, who is also her friend, to find a job for her and also doesn't tell her about her transfer to Jin-hyuk. Jurim feels that keeping the candidate transfer a secret is mandatory.
그렇게 힘들어요?
While eating with coworkers, Hannah sits at the same table as Jin-hyuk and then Jin-hyuk finishes his meal. Hannah is upset because Jin-hyuk made it clear and told him to hold back so that everyone doesn't know that they are broke up. But Jin-hyuk thinks everyone who is aware already knows about their relationship. That's because Jin-hyuk cried during the meeting. But if anyone asks, Hannah tells Jin-hyuk to deny it and she asks Jin-hyuk to wait 5 minutes because Hannah will leave first. She doesn't want her coworkers to assume anything else about their relationship. Jurim gets a call from Jin-hyuk, but she doesn't pick up because she has promised to Hannah. Jurim says that dating in the same office should be illegal and she doesn't support dating in the same office. Then they are curious about Unho's opinion about dating in the same office. Does Unho support or oppose it? And when Unho wants to answer the question, suddenly they are surprised by Ji-yoon, who is behind them. They are confused why Ji-yoon was there and Ji-yoon pretended to take the documents because she didn't want her staff find out when she's eavesdropping on their conversation. While in the office, Ji-yoon kept looking at Unho and it bothered her mind. Then she told Mai to find a new secretary for her. Of course Mai is shocked why Ji-yoon suddenly asked to change secretary even though Unho's ability is very good, only he could match with Ji-yoon. And Ji-yoon explained that Unho always bothered her mind and always crossed the line. Mai is even more confused. What kind of line did Unho cross and what is actually his mistake? Ji-yoon replied that it wasn't Unho's fault, but her own. She asked Mai not to think about it anymore and forget what Ji-yoon just said.
은호 씨, 우리 얘기 좀 하고.
While taking Ji-yoon home, Unho remembered her conversation with Mai. She asked why Ji-yoon wanted to change secretary. Did Unho make a mistake? And on the way, Unho was confused what his mistake is, and he asked Jiun. He apologized if he did something wrong, but Jiun said that it was her fault. Suddenly, Jiun said that she likes Unho and her work is being disturbed because she can't focus on her work. That's why she wants to keep her distance from Unho for a while. And that's her problem and she will solve it by herself. She apologizes for making Unho uncomfortable and asks Unho to forget what she just said and asked him to keep working as usual. In the morning, Unho saw Jiun in front of the elevator and they waited for the elevator. But suddenly Jiun got a call and left Unho, so Unho got on the elevator first. It turned out Jiun only pretended to get a call so as not to get on the elevator with Unho. Jiun also refused an invitation to eat with Unho and chose to drink a lot of coffee. But even though she refused, Unho still gave attention by giving Jiun lunch. And at that time Young-hoon saw their behavior and felt something weird between them. Unho begged Jiun to let him join the meeting with her, but Jiun refused and told Unho to just go home. Then Young-hoon came and offered to give her a ride. He told Unho not to worry because he would take care of her. And Jiun obeyed. Then Unho gave the document for the meeting to Jiun. Even though his finger scratched by paper, but Unho just held it. While eating with Young-hoon, Jiun's mind is elsewhere and made Young-hoon is pathetic. Then he asked Jiun's opinion about him. Isn't he good enough? He's young, rich, and handsome. Dating him would benefit to Jiun, a young, rich, and handsome man. But Jiun doesn't like that type of man, and when Jangjun asks what type she likes, Jiun can't answer. Jiun just wants their relationship to last, and she doesn't want the situation to become awkward. Young-hoon goes to kindergarten and sees Soo-hyun, who just came out of the kindergarten. He gives her a cake to eat with her son, but Soo-hyun tells Young-hoon to just keep it. Young-hoon feels like he'll be more depressed if he eats sweets alone on a day like this, because he just got rejected and didn't even get a chance to confess his love. Hearing that, Soo-hyun invites him to drink together and they drink in front of a convenience store. Soo-hyun asks how long his unrequited love has been going on. Young-hoon isn't sure when it started. He saw her for the first time when he was in high school. Then Young-hoon asks back if Soo-hyun's husband is her first love. And Soo-hyun replied that she didn't have a husband. Of course Young-hoon was shocked because she had a son. Soo-hyun asked Young-hoon not to have negative assumptions, because there are many types of families and Young-hoon understood it. Young-hoon found out that Soo-hyun also had a one-sided love and they were friends because they had the same fate.
Done.
In the morning Soo-hyun is shocked when she realized what happened when she was drunk with Young-hoon. She stuck a poster of a movie that the man Soo-hyun liked. Then Young-hoon told her to invite the man to watch a movie with her, and because she was drunk, Soo-hyun sent the message to Unho. After checking, it turned out that she really sent the message and suddenly Unho called her and made Soo-hyun nervous. Unho was confused by what she meant because Soo-hyun's message was a typo. Then Soo-hyun bravely invited Unho to watch it and Unho agreed and would invite Bile too. Then Soo-hyun explained that it is an adult movie that Unho had mentioned a few days ago, so they could only watch just both of them. The movie theater is near his workplace and Unho are willing to watch with Soo-hyun. Meanwhile, Jurim talks to Hannah about her job transfer. Suddenly, Jin-wook comes to the people's office and surprises them. Jurim explains to Hannah that it wasn't her who told Jin-wook. Jin-wook felt that Hannah had never taken sick leave before, but she took leave on weekdays, so Jin-wook knew that something had happened to Hannah. Jin-wook told Hannah not to transfer jobs, because he was the one who would leave the company. After all, Hannah had dedicated her life to the company. But according to Hannah, it was Jin-wook who had worked hard for the company, so she would still transfer jobs. They both gave in to each other and wanted to transfer jobs so as not to create awkwardness in the same company and make Jurim confused. Then Jin-wook asked if Hannah could leave without seeing him, and Jin-Hyuk felt sorry for letting her go. Seeing Jin-Hyuk begging like that made Hannah cry, and Jurim felt crazy seeing them, while Jurim's friends thought they were very romantic. Then Hannah apologized because she didn't change jobs, because she and Jin-Hyuk reunited. They left the office with holding hands and made everyone jealous. Even though Jurim had worked hard to prepare it, she didn't regret it and could accept it because they couldn't hold back their love. Unho took Jiun to the meeting place, but when they arrived, Jiun told Unho not to go in with her and told Unho to wait for her in the car. And Unho just obeyed her and gave her the documents about the meeting. After the meeting was over and Jiun wanted to get in the car, she saw Unho sleeping in the car. And she attentively covered the sunlight and made Unho glare. Although Jiun seems ignored to Unho, she actually loves Unho. Unho was invited by Kong-suk to drink at his book cafe and they chatted together. Unho thought he was fighting with Mai, but he just wanted to ask about life with Unho. Kong-suk asked how Unho felt when he found out his wife was pregnant of bile. He just curious about how it felt to be a father, because Mai wanted a child, but he felt insecure. He doesn't know if Kong-suk could be responsible for someone else's life. He was worried that it would make his baby suffer. Unho thought being afraid was normal, because it was about responsibility. And Kong-suk felt like Unho also worried about something. He told Unho to show his weakness. He didn't have to be seen perfect. Then Unho said that there is someone on his mind, but he couldn't and this wasn't the right time, because he has to take care of bile. Kong-suk thought that just sounded like an excuse, because it wouldn't make Unho ignore bile. Is it wrong to like someone? Can't Unho be honest about his feelings just this once? But Unho just wasn't in the best situation. He didn't want to make things difficult for her. Kong-suk explained that rather than losing her because of worrying and regretting too much, he told Unho to gather courage. Actually, what she wanted is not Unho's consideration, but Unho's feelings. Jiun met Bile at a book cafe and she asked about her father who was currently at the office. Jiun stopped by because it was nearby and her father would pick Bile up here. But Bile said that her father is going to the cinema with An Soo-hyun and the theater is near the office. While Bile was going to Seojun's house and they thought it was a date, because Seojun's grandmother said they were dating. Then his grandmother came to pick up Seojun and also Bile, and before leaving Bile gave Jiun candy. Hearing that, Jiun felt a little disappointed.
데이트?
Jiun returned to the office and saw Unho, who's still there. She told Unho to go home. If there is no urgent work, he could do it tomorrow, besides Unho is busy. And Unho would finish his job and leave. Until night, Unho has not finished work and Jiun stares at him from inside her office. At that time, Unho also saw her and Soo-hyun called him because she was waiting for Unho to watch at the movie. Jiun just kept quiet in the office and let Unho go. In the car, Unho thought back and decided to turn around to the office and cancel his promise to watch a movie with Soo-hyun. While Jiun in the office remembered the moments she has with Unho, and then she decided to follow Unho. Unho, who returned to the office, did not find Jiun, but he saw Jiun's computer, which showed that Jiun was checking movie tickets. Then Unho looked for Jiun and saw her across the street. Jiun called him and told Unho not to watch the movie. Unho just answered. He saw Jiun and he would approach Jiun. They hugged and also kissed for the first time.